Milk Crate.
Shut up!
This is Morgan Freeman. You front on the Milk Crate Marauder, you can suck my dick.
Milk Crate Marauder is the shit.
Who did you interview yesterday?
I got Regis.
Regis, you got Regis.
Really?
Yeah, and I have a couple of questions with him. Every time I just keep chipping away at the stone.
Yeah.
You know, and then Peter Weller, RoboCop, and Betty Buckley from His Mouth, which. And then,
Hey, Gorilla, really, you really were good at it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was, you know, it's good to put some input in the show, I guess.
What input? Good to get some input.
He says it's good to put some input in the show.
You did too much.
You hear that little nervous laugh?
Yeah. You don't know. He's shell-shocked.
No, I just wanted to say, like, when I went on the interview afterwards, I know how John was gonna, like, get, and I came in, like, yesterday really nervous. And then when I saw John in the morning, he goes, how'd it go? And I felt, like, a lot better. I thought he was gonna be, like, kind of like...
He was crying on the inside, believe me. I know that.
I don't want to, like, step on his toes or anything, but...
He was hoping that you would do bad. Yeah.
no, I have a thing that if I hope somebody does good, then they do bad. So I was hoping he would do good.
Right.
But you should hear, sometimes just to get under John's skin, I'll tell him that other people did it better than he did. Yeah. And he's still not the best.
Well, we still are convinced that Dave does it the best.
And I am convinced you're nuts. But, you know, I mean... And, oh, yeah, I get pushed down the stairs this time.
Did you keep the mic on?
Yeah, I kept the mic on.
Well, you're learning from Gorilla.
Yeah, Gorilla knows how to do
I always
it.
kept the mic on. You guys are nuts.
Yeah, but somehow the mic always got disconnected.
Yeah, that's because big, bald idiot over there. I never knew how to put it in.
All right, very good.
You know, wait a minute, I gotta tell you, the other good thing about yesterday was after Gorilla came in and you did so well with his interviews.
Yes.
Scott ran to find John.
Yeah, I know.
To rub it in.
Oh, Scott, I'm going to kill Scott. Oh, you wait.
Oh, man.
Oh, you wait. Scott was running around going, let's get John. And girl thinks he's a good guy. Told me
you should see how happy Scott was to set up the microphone in my office.
Oh, you wait.
Right,
man.
Scott was loving the entire day.
Yeah, he has something against you.
Well,
he's upset with you for some reason. Why is he upset with you?
because Scott is upset the fact that I think deep down inside, I was included in the TV show, and he's been here longer, and I think it just irks him that, you know, like, you know, I'm gonna, you know, forget it.
No, what? But you were included?
Yeah, like, I'm in the TV show, you know, and like I was like became like part of the crew, and, and meanwhile he's been here for so long, and he just doesn't get included in anything. You know, he gets like $100 at appearances, and I get a lot more. You know, it's just driving him nuts.
So you're saying you're young and successful, and he's old and bald. And unsuccessful. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's maybe why he resents you. All right, I'll go along with that theory. What do you think, Robin?
I think you're pretty much on.
Oh, man. I know, Scott always thinks he should be at everything.
Oh, I have to listen to him on the plane ride, and I'm telling you.
Not me.
It's a constant complaint.
Really?
It's how he is not included, and he should be part of the show. And
yeah, but why? What does he do?
He's your engineer. And if it wasn't for him, the bits wouldn't be as great as they are.
What bits?
your bits.
As we talk, he's back in the back room smoking 4 cigarettes at once.
But he was having a field day. I never saw Scott smile so much. Every time he saw John, he just said, yeah, Gorilla was really good. Yeah.
And then he has that corroded laugh like part of his larynx is coming up. You know?
Yeah.
You know, you can't even hear anything.
Hey, where is he?
Mute. I came in this morning. The first thing was, hey, you want to hear the trick they pulled on John? The first thing, as soon as I came in, he was already to play it for me and everything.
Yeah, he loves it.
This is the good part. This is the good part when I really sticks it to him.
Where is Scott?
He got cigarettes in his ears.
I thought he'd come running in when John was insulting him.
He's keeping pretty low profile.
No, because he's busy now. You know, you got to get tape on asking Scott to do something when he's busy, like the one part of the 10 minutes of the day that he's busy.
Yeah.
Totally flips on you.
What's up?
Oh, you weren't listening?
What?
You weren't listening to John?
No.
Oh, all right. Okay, if you would
I'm sure he was bad-mouthing me like
Scott got his
usual.
hairs cut. See?
I'm sure he's bad-mouthing me like usual.
No, what he's saying is that the reason that you are so happy when he gets, ribbed and stuff is because you're basically jealous of him.
No, because he can't take it. Every time you get into him, he goes nuts.
Scott,
I love doing that.
Bro, could he take it? Could Scott take it? Be honest.
You're worse than him.
There you go. You're a big baby.
You should see when we tape Scott's phone down so he can't pick up the receiver.
Yeah.
He goes nuts.
You guys do that?
I
tape his phone down so when the phone rings, he picks up his phone, the phone keeps ringing.
John, you did it last.
He threw the phone at me.
John, you did it last week. What happened?
He threw the phone at me once.
John, you did it last week. What happened?
What?
What happened? You did it last week. What happened?
I don't know. Well, now you're getting used to it.
It's like Scott's a substitute teacher.
Wait a second, let me get this straight. You guys didn't even tell me this.
I always do.
You tape down.
I tape down the
buttons.
You count down the buttons, and when
phone rings, it keeps on ringing.
They go back and call him.
So he threw the freaking phone at me once. The whole phone.
Oh, man. Oh, that's too funny.
I was just going to say, John and Scott have something between them that I can't explain.
John, tell Scott your theory.
They always fight.
My theory is that Scott, and I be honest, don't be an idiot for a second.
Yeah, okay. I shouldn't be an idiot. Look who's talking.
You're a little upset that I'm on the TV show. I was included, I'm part of the crew, part of the cast, and you've been here longer than me, and you haven't got. And you're not part of everything, and there's a lot of resentment.
Well, there's resentment because what can you do? Are you talented? Can you do anything? You stutter, John. That's why you're where you are.
Scott, there's
more. You stutter.
There is more.
Where's your album,
there is more
John?
talent,
I haven't seen it yet.
There is more talent in my in my nose head than it is in your whole body. Trust me. What do you do?
You're right. After that statement, I can't.
This guy does my girlfriend's wedding.
Yeah.
Plays Hava Nagila, the last song of the night. Everyone's leaving. A Jewish wedding. You play Hava Nagila last.
I didn't play it last. He's such a liar. It's
yeah. Call Karen. We'll find out.
What happened? You hired Scott as a DJ?
Everyone left. He played Hava Nagila finally. When you do the whole Jewish thing where you jump around with the chair.
Yeah, right. The chair on the head.
Yeah. He did it the last 5 minutes of the night.
So was everyone mad at Scott?
Yeah, everyone was mad at him.
He's lying.
No. Hey, Scott, unfortunately, that stutter is awfully entertaining, and you don't have anything that's entertaining. And the reason we don't include you in anything is, what am I going to do with you on the TV show? We took you to the taping of Butt Bongo Fiesta.
What did
Scott
you do?
insisted on being there. He felt left out. Why aren't I a part of it? And what happened? He stood there the whole time with his hands in his pockets. What was I going to do with you? What do you want? Do you want to be in the sketches?
No, I don't want to be anywhere.
Where do you want to be?
Nowhere.
What do you want? What is it, Gary?
I know where he wants to be. I know because I've spoken about this before. He feels that he's your sound man. He's the guy.
He's the sound man on the radio.
But he's your sound. He knows how the Stern Show should sound. He knows
but he
how
doesn't
to
know
run
the
you and
sound. He doesn't know how to
Mike.
work sound on TV.
Well, he thinks he does.
In other words, I can't listen, right? I can't hear it.
You mean I'm going to hire you to listen?
Don't hire me for anything.
All he would tell me is that, John, did you hear the sound of the TV show? I would make it so much better.
Yeah, like there wasn't the equipment there.
He's like your band leader, Howard.
Why don't you
every time Sammy Davis Jr. would come and do it, like he's my musical director, blah, blah, is with me.
Yeah. No, Scott's job at Butt Bongo Fiesta was to make the naked girls feel uncomfortable as he leered at them. That was his job.
At one point, Scott brought me food.
Yeah.
Scotty, I love you, though.
Scott, I'm not going to insult you by bringing you somewhere.
I love you. I mean, we hang out in L.A.
Now, you should hear. You know what else gets Scott riled up?
What?
When John comes to do the promos, and John actually has to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that drives him nuts.
These two come to me individually all the time after the big fight, and each gets my ear and tries to explain to me why the other one is a jerk.
Right.
But it's true. The promos is the biggest bone of contention.
Right.
Because
I want to do a good promo because
John wants to do it one way and Scott wants to do it another way. And John,
I'll come in and say, like when we had David Lee Roth in, I think, Scott, let's do a 3-part promo. There's 3 good points that we can put in the promo and make it, quick,
Right. And Scott wants
3
to get
parts.
3 parts.
Oh, I gotta fuss some DJ equipment.
I know I didn't say that.
He freaks out. He hates to do
I don't work.
If there's 5 edits, 5 edits.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Okay, John knows I leave at 12 o'clock, okay?
Sometimes
they don't appreciate when I work overtime here for a promo or something like that, okay?
Yeah.
Unless you're down there working on a bit.
Scott, that's not true.
That is true,
Sometimes
John.
I come down at 11 and we're done at 11:30, but you still complain. You complain. You're a compulsive complainer. Be honest.
You do complain a lot. You got to admit that, Scott.
Okay.
Every time John says, "Are you ready to do the promo, Scott?" This is the reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the thing we got to do every day.
Here's the deal.
He doesn't like how I open the door. Tell him the truth. He don't like how I even just open the door. You know, as soon as I walk in, you hate my guts.
Right, exactly.
Why don't you like the way he opens the door?
John comes in and he bulls his way through the door. It's
Right.
like, you know, the charge is like, you know.
Right.
He pushes it open, tries to break it off its hinges.
You know what it is? There's a million. I do production back there all the time with Scott. And while we're in there, 50 guys come piling in. It's really annoying. Like, Kate's has to walk in every 3 seconds. And this one, it's annoying. You know what I mean? And there's no reason for them to be in there other than they want to hang out.
Right.
The production room is the hangout room.
Yeah.
So Scott's trying to work. So he gets to him and gets him. Finally, John walks in for his one big visit of the day, and Scott finds someone he can yell at.
I mean, no, you know, there are times after the show, you know, after like 10 o'clock, the phone is nonstop. I'll turn it off a lot. I mean, for Billy West, for Bill Cates, I mean, leaving messages, then I got to deal with the telephone company.
So here's Scott complaining at his best.
Right,
Go ahead,
No, I'm not complaining.
Goes on all day.
I'm just telling you what I have to do.
I didn't get an aisle seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's my aisle seat? Upgrade me to
very
business
good.
class.
I tell you what, Scott, we had enough of this, all right?
I love you, Scotty. You know I love you, man.
Life
There's
sucks, Scott.
such a great show going on after this show.
I know. Life sucks. One phone to answer. Scott's overwhelmed. The phone.
He's got to deal with the whole phone company.
I got to deal with the phones.
You know, we got to get Mike on honestly, you know, and I've been trying to do it. We have to get on Mike when Scott's doing something and you just want something done.
We'll do it. We'll hide a microphone on him one time.
I try, but then it's so hard to hide it in that studio.
Yeah, well, work on something. Get the attaché case and stick it in there.
Michael and I mean, Michelle and I love listening to the Milkman while we're sword fighting. Anyone out there know how to cook?
MyLkcratemarauder is the shit.
Making a joke.
You know what it is? We're working hard back there.
Jack, it's a little
I
funny to
don't
have
care
those
that
you tell.
you think you're working hard. I can't wait for the day, John, when I quit radio, that you are the guy who has to now go out and find a job. And when you work for a real boss who's sitting there and paying the freight, and he's having you sit there and whatever it is you're qualified to do, lift boxes or whatever it is, I can't wait till he starts busting your balls.
All right.
You're going to see what real work is. Why do you think everyone likes hanging out here for free? It's a gravy train. Oh, for God's sake.
It's
a lot of fun. It's fun.
A lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
We can't get you guys to leave.
Hey, go get a real job and see how much fun it is.
I'm sure you're right. Well, actually, I used to drive a truck. I know exactly.
All right. That's good experience. But you didn't need to drive a truck. Soon you might need to.
Well, hopefully not, but if I take all those stock calls.
Come, Gary, go.
Oh, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch.
Hi, Nona. Have a seat, have a seat. I'm John from WXRK Radio. Congratulations on your music award.
Thank you very much.
Man, you are pretty. Wow, I didn't. Did you ever date any white guys?
Of course, all my life.
Really?
You want to date?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Me too.
Oh, okay. You too.
Can I have your number?
Yeah, 977.
Is that really serious?
Yes.
Great, thanks a lot.
Okay.
977. Great. Listen, I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
What does voulez-vous ou coucher asen swan mean?
It is voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir. It means, can I sleep with you tonight?
Well, voulez-vous coucher asen swan to you?
Oui, monsieur.
Listen, really, seriously, let's hang after this interview, okay?
Oui.
Great. Is Patti LaBelle a bigger bitch than Diana Ross?
Oh, of course. She's the biggest. She has a better voice.
Really. Let me ask you a question. Do you miss your Uncle Jimmy?
My Uncle Jimmy, I don't have one.
Oh, no? People give me the wrong information here.
You say he's my uncle?
I don't know what it means.
No, I'm really Jimi Hendrix.
What?
I'm really Jimi Hendrix in another life.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I love this outfit, if you don't mind.
Yes, Jimmy used to wear this.
Really. Well, move over, Rover. Let Jimmy take over. All right, let me ask you a question. Can you say voulez-vous coucher asen swan in Spanish?
Oh, no. I don't speak Spanish.
No, not at all?
No comprende.
So, I mean, like, seriously now, would you go out with me on a date?
Yes.
I mean, do you find me attractive?
I'll have to ask your parents.
No, I'm 24. How old are you?
Me, I'm 46.
Get out of here. You're like 23, right? No, seriously, are you really 46?
Yes, of course.
Come on, really? You look like 22.
Well, thank you.
Have you ever had any like face, any face like lifts or anything?
No. Just lucky.
Man, that's great. I can't believe it. All right, well, listen. Thanks for the interview.
You go out with older women?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Well, I do now. Thanks.
Who this?
If someone offered you hundreds of thousands of dollars to break up with me and go join someone else, would you do it? Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No.
A year.
No.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not.
When he left, I don't think he left under perfect circumstances. He took that job on the I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, said he was going to only do it for 2 weeks. He forgot to mention that there was a third week in there. So when he called and said he was still in Australia, I think Howard hung up on him, and he didn't expect that at all. He expected like, hey, how's it going? Dude, I understand that you're doing really well on the show, and it's like, the fact of the matter is that was something he used to do on the side. His real job was here. I think John was already thinking about other things, other places, other things to do.
When I did I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which was a show on ABC, and, it was like where everybody was in Australia, we were in a jungle, all these like C-list celebrities, and I use that term loosely. And, I was doing that show, and, it wasn't, the Stuttering John shtick. I wasn't like, interviewing people and asking obnoxious questions in that kind of way. And I was just being me, and, like being the guy I was. And the whole time I'd be on the cot praying that, somehow Jay Leno has saw the show and I could be a guest on The Tonight Show. It was always my dream. One of my dreams to be a guest on The Tonight Show. I mean, I remember the last day that I made it to the last day, and, I got, voted off, and I came out, and my wife told me, John, you're booked on The Tonight Show tomorrow night, and I got chills down my spine. I still have chills on my spine when I say it. And, I flew straight from Australia to L.A., and, I wrote the jokes that I was going to use on the way there in the town car, and, I did the appearance, and it went really well with Jay, and, like after the segment, the executive producer and head writer, asked me to be a correspondent, and I talked to Gary about it that night, because Gary happened to be in L.A., and we went and had dinner, and Gary said, there's no way Howard's going to let you do that, or, something like that. And then I decided to talk to Robin about it.
He came to me and he said, I really need to talk to you. And when John said, I really need to talk to you, it meant he had some side project he wanted to do. And he didn't know how to approach Howard, or he wanted to get my take on how it would be received if he put it out there. And so he called me up and basically explained that to me after we had lunch or something. And I said, John, you can't do that. They're asking you to do what you do on this show for them. And he's like, but.
I said, listen, I've always wanted to be in television. I'd really like to do this. And she said, well, you got to talk to Howard about it. But do it in a professional manner and, set up a meeting through Laura, which is his assistant, and tell him that you want to meet with him. So I did that, and I called Laura, so I'd like to have a meeting with Howard, and then the next day Howard goes on the air and goes, John, there's no way I'm meeting with you. I don't want to talk about your career. I don't care, and everything else. And that's the truth. I mean, it's on the air if you want. You can pull the tape, and then I talked to Robin again, and she said, ask him again, and I did it again, and he's like, I'm not talking to you. I don't want to know about your career. I don't care, whatever, and everything else. And now it's in like a standstill. So I turned the Tonight Show down twice. They asked me to be a correspondent, and I said, there's no way I could do it, and everything else. And then finally came the announcer gig, and there was enough money that I could I could move the whole family out to L.A. and and live the next part of my life, which was something that I really wanted to do. I mean, listen, I had fun on the Stern Show, but I was there for 15 years, and at some point it was time for me to go. I mean, I wanted to change. I wanted to pursue my career in television and film, and this is an opportunity that I really wanted to do. So I decided to what was I going to do? So I talked to Arite.
It's funny, like the first few years I was on the show, as big a fuck-up as I am, with a couple of people on the show, I became like the Judd Hirsch in Taxi. For some reason, people came to me with their problems. And John knew that I had a career in show business before the show, and he respected that, so he would ask my opinion a lot. And he told me that he had been offered that job in November, and he didn't tell the show and Howard till February. So I knew close to 4 months before he was going to make the announcement, and he asked me to please not tell anybody. And I said, look, John, you're my friend. I would never betray a friend. I would never tell anybody anything without your permission, so your secret is safe with me. But my advice from the beginning was, look, just tell Howard sooner than later. And John will definitely, corroborate this. I mean, this is what I said to him in his apartment when he told me. I said, because he just has a right to know. I said, first of all, it's a no-brainer that you take the job. It's a great opportunity. It's more money. It's a better position of respect somewhere. And, you should take it. And I think Howard would agree with that. But tell him. John, for whatever reason, didn't want to tell him, and he didn't want Leno to tell him.
I really think what it came down to is John just didn't want anybody screwing up his deal. I think he was done. I think he wanted to leave. I think he'd had it. Maybe he felt like, you know what? It's time to move on. They're not going to look at me as Stuttering John. They're going to look at me as John Melendez, the announcer from The Tonight Show.
Listen, my fear was that, if I told Howard before I knew it was a done deal, that maybe he would, get mad and maybe say it on the air, and then the whole thing could go away.
John was afraid to tell me about the job ahead of time because he was afraid I'd call up Jay and maybe ruin his chance. I would never do that. I couldn't sleep at night. I've had wonderful opportunities in my career. If somebody undermined my career, I would be furious. I would never do that to any of my people, anybody I work with. I wouldn't do that to any human being. Ever. So that's that story.
Who this?
I remember flying out and auditioning in front of them, and they gave me the hardest announcers. And the truth is, being a stutterer, when you're in character and, speaking at a high volume, and, it's almost like you're singing. So it's almost impossible to stutter. So I'll do that. But I had to go through that process. I had to audition as a correspondent. So I had to, I had to prove to them I could do the job. And, then, it was time where, they actually offered me the job. And then I said, well, and Jay said to me, John, do you want me to call Howard and talk about it? I said, no, Jay, this is something that I think it should come from me. I think, I've known Howard for 15 years. I consider him a friend, and I think it should be me that should tell him this. And, so I told Jay not to call him.
The thing that was really odd to me is that Jay Leno didn't give me a call. I was a regular guest on Jay's show, and Jay did my show. Jay and I have known each other through the years. We're not close friends, but we were, certainly people who did business together. And I tried to help him out many times, and he helped me out many times. And I thought that it was unusual in a situation like that he would take a guy who was so strongly identified with my show. And I understood what he was doing. John was always funny on our show. And John was so organic to our show. And it would have been a nice thing if Jay had picked up the phone and said to me, look, I am having feelings that I'd like to hire John. We admire his work. I'm going to make him an offer. And I would have said, great, thanks for giving me a heads up. I'll see if I can't counter it in some way or not. That would have been a lot of respect.
I think Howard had a right to be mad at the whole situation because, he was mistreated in it. Leno treated it like, he was taking a crew member from a DJ in St. Louis or something. It's not the case. It's taking a legendary guy off a legendary show, and, it's like a family thing. So I think that was a mistake, but John feared that Howard might do something to ruin the deal. I disagreed with that. I said, it sounds like Leno wants you no matter what. Just tell Howard, and he refused to do that. And
unfortunately, Howard's still mad at Jay for not calling. But if you should be mad at anybody, it should be me, because I said it should come from me. So then I told Howard, and initially his reaction was very positive.
I was in Atlantic City, and John gave me a call in my room to tell me. I think I have such a bad memory. I think this is what happened. But he said to me, I got to talk to you. And I go, okay. And then he tells me he's got the job. He's going to be the announcer on The Tonight Show. And I went, oh, okay, all right. And we went down, and we had a nice big celebration. I think we had a dinner or something, because we were all there celebrating. And John was deathly afraid of telling me. And I said, why are you so afraid to tell me that you're going to The Tonight Show? I mean, what a great job. Congratulations. I mean, he had this thing built up that I would be angry with him.
And I was not. I mean, it's kind of nice.
This has always been a bone of contention for John and I. I've never trashed him like Fred was really upset, but I've made it really clear that I don't think John left the show the proper way. And we've had a lot of conversations about it. I think we've sort of come to the conclusion that we agree to disagree on this. The way I found out was Howard and Beth had a Valentine's Day party at this old church downtown. It was a great night. We all went out, and it was even weirder for me because I had got an email from somebody who sent me a note and said, hey, listen, I work at a bank, and I don't know if you know, but Stuttering John bought a house in California because I handled some bank work. And I go, well, that's ridiculous. John doesn't, why would he buy a house in California? He works for us. So I said something to John that night, and he looked at me like I was crazy, which I took to be like, of course I'm not buying a house in California, but he never really answered me. Next morning, I wake up, a bunch of the people on the show, Howard and Beth, I think Artie was on the show at the time, a bunch of people ended up going to Atlantic City. I get a call from Howard at about noon, and he goes, did you know about this? And I go, about what? He goes, John's leaving the show. And I go, what are you talking about? And he said he's going to the Tonight Show. And I guess while they were down in Atlantic City, John took that opportunity to seek Howard out and tell him what was going on. I remember Howard was like stunned, and I was like, Howard, I don't know a fucking thing about it. That was how I heard about it. And I spent the whole day like trying to put it together. I'm like, what do they want to do on the Tonight Show? Like, is he doing sets or props, or what is he doing? Like, it just didn't, again, John will hear this and he'll be all bummed out, but it just, it just didn't make sense that John was going to be the announcer because he stutters, and I couldn't figure it out.
One day, I was getting into a car at the airport to come home from a vacation, and my driver said to me, Stuttering John just got hired to be the announcer at the Tonight Show. And my driver is from another country. And I said, you couldn't have possibly heard that right. Your accent must have gotten in the way. There's no way Stuttering John is an announcer. There's nobody hiring him to be an announcer on the Tonight Show. He goes, oh, no. I said, well, I'm going to have to go home and check this out. I just can't believe it.
Anyway, yes, we are back. We were off for the week. There's much to talk about. Stuttering John leaving for the Tonight Show. He's been a nervous wreck about what I'm going to say.
I know. It was funny because I didn't see the news. I was sort of out of touch, and as soon as I landed, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. The Yankees got A-Rod, the Tonight Show got John.
Well, I've spoken to Jay Leno twice, because I guess John gave him my home number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how he's got it, but he's got it. And, you better straighten it out with Howard's mad. You better smooth that out. Yeah. But John is leaving. He's here for the last week. He's going to, I guess, promote his Tonight Show job for the next week. And, but he's here for the week to finish out his 2 weeks notice, because this is like a secretarial job. You give 2 weeks notice and then you leave.
Yes.
And he planned it just right. Gave us notice a week while we were on a vacation.
Right, and the announcement was on vacation. That was interesting.
Doesn't matter who he inconveniences. Gary uses him out there for God knows what, but, he's like, yeah, well, I can take a week of my notice while I'm on vacation.
Right. While everybody's off, and nobody would be able to replace me.
I got to get to my new gig with the very edgy Jay Leno.
I remember being really stunned about it, but as it came to unfold more and more, the thing that really jumped out at me was that John had clearly, he sought the job. He'd been working on it for months and months, 6, 8, 10 months. He was working on it. They would never give him the deal that he wanted. He and I had this conversation later. But John clearly had taken the job before he had talked to us. And I always thought, I say this now, the courtesy would have been to come to Howard and say, listen, I have an offer from the Tonight Show to be the announcer. I have a 5-year deal at, everybody says it was $500,000. So I don't know what it was, but say it was $300,000. That was still 10 times more than we were paying him. And he says to Howard, I have an opportunity to go work at the Tonight Show, and they're going to pay me this amount of money, et cetera, et cetera. That would have given Howard the opportunity to say, you know what, buddy, I can't compete with that money, but, go do your thing. And John's never been honest about it, ever.
I don't understand, how it happened. I mean, I gave my 2 weeks notice. I don't know. I think you'd be an idiot to tell the job you're leaving that you're leaving before you're sure that you have another job on the,
set up. I mean, that would be crazy. I mean, because you know, if it's not a done deal and then you say you're leaving, then suddenly, you know, Howard goes to the R and says, I can't believe you're leaving, and then the Tonight Show hears and goes, all right, well, maybe it's not a good idea. Then not only do I lose the Tonight Show, then also, you know, everyone's mad at me at the Stern Show. So it's like, it's a no-win situation. So I don't think, you know, the way I did it was so wrong. But I know a lot of people do, and I respect their opinions as well, but it's not the way that I saw the way to do it. And I don't think it was so bad. And I know that, you know, a lot of people think that it was a bad way to go, but I think also people can understand that when you leave a job, when you give 2 weeks notice, usually, for the most part, you have the other job set up before you start giving 2 weeks notice. And I'm sorry, but I strongly believe that. And in that respect, I don't think I did anything wrong. And if I hurt Howard's feelings, I hurt anybody's feelings because of the way, that I did it, well then, it wasn't my intention.
But of course he didn't. I didn't tell anybody I was getting married. I'm going to tell somebody I'm getting married, and I'm going to listen to for a month or a year about, you're an idiot, what are you doing, you're an idiot, she's no good, you don't want her, you're no good, are you going to cheat on her, or what are you going to do, are you going to keep drinking? No. I just called from Hawaii and said I got married. It's the only way to do it on that show. God, how anybody could even question why he did it that way is beyond me. Hey, I got something. Oh, that's the wrong voice. That's the funniest thing in the interview right there.
He didn't want to work with us anymore. He wanted to go over there, and that's fine. But be upfront about it and say, listen, you know what? Not that I didn't love you. I was sort of done with you guys, but this deal was great. And listen, John's living a great life now. Nobody's breaking his balls every day. He doesn't get at the crack of dawn. He's got a fucking vault full of Armani suits, a parking spot next to Jay. I'm not saying that I blame him for taking the job. I just think that for all the amount of time that he spent with us, he could have been more upfront with us, and he'll turn around and tell you that we didn't pay him anything, so fuck us.
Listen to me. There is no way in hell Tom Giussano was going to match the salary that the Tonight Show was giving me. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So I mean, even if like everybody says, well, suppose they would have matched it. Listen, I still would have went, but trust me, there was no way Tom was going to match that salary. Okay.
This is typical John. He doesn't want to deal with the conflict, so instead of getting in the middle of it, he just gave Jay Howard's number, which is a huge mistake. And Howard gave Jay a piece of his mind.
When I got on the phone with him, I said, Jay, so you just hire one of my guys, a guy who's on the air with me almost every day, and you don't give me a heads up, you don't say to me, how do you feel about it? And I would never have stood in John's way. I swear to God, on a stack of Bibles. And then Jay just goes, well, I was just going to offer him a lot of money, and you're not paying him. And I went, what? I'm not paying him. Here's a guy who's got a house. He's got a fucking apartment in the city. He's got an assistant. He's got, he's got a pretty grand lifestyle. How's he making this money? Okay, granted, you're offering him a big salary. He's going to have to do a lot less than that. But, I mean, as a decent thing, at least come to me and say, this isn't you just hiring one of my secretaries. And then, I really blast him. I call him an asshole. I call him all kinds of names. And then he goes, are we still friends? I go, how are we still friends, fucknut? What did I just call you? You think I call my friends an asshole? I don't want to be friends with an asshole. I already got one asshole. And I shit out of it.
Who this?
I saw Milk Crate break dancing at the bus stop. I asked the Marauder for an autograph. He slapped the shit out of me. Milk Crate said the palm print is his signature. He called it the 5 fingers of fuck off. I haven't washed my cheeks since.
Milk Crate Marauder is the shit.
I'll tell you about my conversation with Jay Leno. Jay is the biggest douchebag on 2 feet. I am convinced that there is a robot inside that man.
Oh, yeah.
He is the oddest human being. I wish John well. I said, hey, John, you're getting a lot. Evidently, they're paying him like $500,000.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, to go and be the Tonight Show. And you go, gee, well, why would they pay John? I was sitting there going,
oh, man.
Gee, why would you pay John $500,000 to be the Tonight Show announcer?
Is that just the announcer? When you're announcer, that's the salary?
No, the last guy made about $250,000.
Really?
So they had to have John. So we're going to try and piece together why they had to have John, even though Jay goes, no, it's not like that.
What do you mean it's not like that?
No, we saw him on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. That's why we want him.
Really?
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. I go, I see.
You never watched this show.
Yeah. Doesn't have to do with the fact that you rip off every goddamn piece of this show.
Right, he'd already taken every bit.
Yeah. And made it lame.
So he didn't need John to take the bits.
Jay is the wackiest, asswipe I know. I mean, I can't believe what a jerk-off he is. He looks like a fool. Jay's just lame. Tonight from Burbank, Howard Stern. It's so odd. Jennifer Love Hewitt. And then John's whole rap to me is, I try to tell you. You wouldn't take a meeting with me. I go, listen, John, stop your BS. I said, you didn't want to tell me. You wanted to make sure you got the job. I don't blame you, but stop BSing me. If you wanted to come to me, you could have stopped me in the hall anytime and gone, Howard, I got a job offer. And then I would have talked to Tom, and hopefully maybe Tom would have stepped up to the plate if he wanted to stay. I said, I doubt we could have given you $500,000, though.
Right.
How many years do you think that deal's for? I heard 3 years, $500,000.
Wow.
So it's 1.5 for 3 years.
Oh, here's John to tell us.
I knew money would get him in here.
Yeah. No, it's not that much.
$500,000 a year.
Here's John. And by the way, I went to Atlantic City with John.
Mm-hmm.
John's whole attitude has changed.
What
he was mouthing off to the dealers and stuff. I mean, dude, what are you doing?
Now he's going to be a nasty guy?
He was big man. Big man on campus.
Like a night, not a nice guy?
You were all
like
over me till I
mean
cleaned you
guy?
out.
Yeah, we were playing poker, and he leaned into the dealer at one point, got right in her face, and goes, "Hey, come on now, deal me some good cards here, you."
What are you talking?
You did that.
What are you talking
I was like,
about?
man, he's like the announcer on the Tonight Show. He went crazy.
Remember that? I remember us all being drunk and
I remember you hassling me over and over again about, you're mad at me, you're mad at me, you're mad at me. I go, like, John, I'm not mad at you. Why were you going around telling everyone I'm mad at you? I said I was happy for you. Let's go to Atlantic City and celebrate your good fortune.
Yeah, no, it was a great phone call.
So then why would you say I was mad at you?
No, this is what I'm hearing. Don't blame me.
John, you are the most paranoid. All I know is John calls me up and he says, what's going to happen to me? I said, John, I'm happy for you. Let's go to Atlantic City and celebrate.
Yeah, it was nice.
Right. So then I get another call from the guy he goes, I hear you're mad at me. I go, wait,
and this is still in Atlantic City?
No, this is afterwards.
Yeah.
And I go, I was just in Atlantic City with you. We just had a great time. What have I done to tell you that I'm mad at you? I said, I have a beef with Jay. I think Jay is lame as can be. Jay thinks this is somehow going to make him hip or rub off, like he's going to have some of the Howard Stern magic. But he doesn't understand that John's organic to our show. He's not going to, and I know John wants to be the Ed McMahon and everything, and I hope that happens for you. But Jay's lame. And Jay's a one-man show. And Jay's just doing this to get some quick publicity, because I looked up the numbers. Jimmy Kimmel took a lot. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't get great numbers.
But he took the young audience.
He took 18 to 25-year-old males. Mm-hmm. So Jay's desperate. And I don't even know why he's going after 18 to 25-year-old males. He's never going to get them.
90-year-old people you got.
To an 18 to 25-year-old male, Jay Leno is gay.
Mm-hmm.
He might as well put a dress on and suck off someone. That's what he should do. But, I mean, and so he's going to try and raid my show. And maybe John will bring him some good luck or some good fortune. Or maybe Beetlejuice or somebody. He puts John on the red carpet. Maybe someone will say, hey, yeah, that's funny.
Can I ask John some questions? I got a million questions.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Is it a 1 year deal or a multi-year deal?
It's a multi-year deal.
Is it guaranteed money? In other words,
actually, I'm not allowed to say anything about it.
If you got fired tomorrow.
Of course not.
No, really. It's in the contract. It's supposed to be.
I'll go on Jay's show and I'll have him, confidential.
Okay, I'm not going to. If you got fired tomorrow, is your money guaranteed?
Is it 13 weeks?
Okay.
Is it 13 weeks or is it?
No, it's more than that. And you know what? I'm not supposed to say anything about it.
But if you were sitting here and I was you, you'd be all over me. So I got to ask.
Of course, no, I don't blame you for asking.
This is your interview of
I'm just afraid about the legal aspect.
Do you have perks in your contract?
Wait. You're afraid of the legal aspect?
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
No. You have to sign something that says completely confidential. So I don't want to. You're not supposed to give. You're not supposed to say what the deal is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So without saying what the deal is, over the 3 years, is it under or over $1 million? Over the 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say gap.
I'm telling you. I know what the previous guy made. I know what he's getting. He's paying a fortune for a hunk of the show. But what's weird is, it's weird. Why is it John and not maybe Artie or Fred?
Because they liked me, Howard. Why can't it be that they just like me? I
think they like you. I think they like you, and I'm happy for you. But it's odd that Jay can't sort of get his own thing going with it. There's no offense to you. There's a lot of great comedy minds out there who have interesting twists on things. They write, they produce, and they would give their left arm for the announcer's job on the Tonight Show and the kind of salary you're getting. You understand that, right? Or are you delusional?
Of course.
All right.
But they like me, so what?
Why? Well, so they like all the bits we do on the show. The head writer likes putting the guy on the red carpet, likes going out and asking the questions, and likes a lot of the stuff we do. Why wouldn't you develop your own guy?
They have their own guy.
Who's their own guy?
Ross the intern does that all the time.
No, why wouldn't they develop their own guy as the announcer? Like, why lift something so identified with the Howard Stern show?
Let me just say this, just so you know. A year ago, they asked me to be the correspondent.
Right.
That's when I tried talking.
The correspondent?
That's when I tried talking to you.
Oh, you tried talking to me about that.
Yeah, and Robin will back me up on this. I did.
Well, that was when he said...
You could have walked up to me in the whole... It's two different Johns. There's a John who comes to me with, I want to go out and do a Howard Stern traveling show. And then there's a John who comes up to me and says legitimately, and don't give me your BS. You didn't want to tell me about
okay,
it.
is that where I called Laura to set up a meeting with you? Did it everything professionally?
And I said no.
Everything professionally.
I said no because you know what I thought it was. It's another one of your cockamamie scams. If you walked up to me and said you had a job...
I even lied and said it was personal just so I can talk to you.
The rap is
I tried every angle.
You couldn't walk up to Gary and say, Gary, I got a job offer from the Tonight Show.
Gary a lot of times...
Oh, you don't like it?
A lot of times not.
Gary's my guy, and you don't like it.
A lot of time Gary screws up the things I want to say, and he's done it in the past.
So rather than tell me about it...
I'd rather go to you, who I'm closer to.
But I told you I don't want you going through me. I want you going through
so
Gary.
I went through your assistant.
So, no. I never told you to go through Laura. I said go through Gary.
You did go through me the first time.
Yeah. And what happened? Nothing went wrong.
John came to me after he did the Tonight Show. And he said, listen, I got to run something by you. Jay asked me to be a correspondent.
Yeah, he said, don't
do it.
Correspondent.
He said, what do you think? And I said, I think that you could probably do that, but you probably can't do both.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think that was the wrong thing to say?
No.
I said, I don't
But why did you just say, but why doesn't John just say, could you tell Howard?
Really about that. I talked to Robin and
I said the same thing. You can't do that.
But then we talked
Wait a second. So you talked to Robin, and but you're a grown man.
Yeah.
Why don't you come and talk to me?
I tried.
You say to Gary, I told you this a million times, tell him what it is, and I'll meet with you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to meet with you about a cockamamie thing.
I don't want to tell Gary about my dreams and goals in life. I want to talk to you
told
about
you,
that.
tell Gary. This is what you say to Gary. Gary, I got a job offer from a legitimate place. I want to talk to Howard about it. But that you couldn't do.
No,
you couldn't do it.
I called you. I called Laura.
I didn't say, how did I tell you how to do it?
3 days.
How did I tell you how to do it? Did I tell you to call Laura? No. How did I tell you how to get an appointment with me?
I
talked to Gary.
The adult, professional way.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
What was the way? Go to Gary.
No, I don't like
Laura has nothing to do with the radio show. Gary's the producer of the show. You go to Gary and you say, I've got a job.
I tried going to you.
No, you go to Gary. You could agree. I've been alone with you a million times. You could have said to me, I got an offer from Jay Leno.
When I spoke to Robin.
How hard is that?
This is what I said. I
Forget
said,
Robin.
you do have a relationship with Howard.
Yeah.
How come you can't talk to him?
Exactly. Why can't you?
And I tried.
No, you didn't.
You could have come in here during a break when no one's in here.
A million times.
I just said, listen, I know you think I want to talk to you about the comedy show. I got an offer. I'd love to talk to you.
When you're in here going, during the commercial, did you bang Nikki Ziering? Did you bang Coleman Electro? How about,
and by the way,
I got
Robin,
a job offer.
So I guess the conversation we had on the phone
just said
is
what we
completely
said.
opposite what we're saying now.
No, I don't care. I just said,
which is exactly what I knew would happen.
Why do I need to
I wish I had a
Here
tape
we go.
recorder. I wish I had a tape recorder.
Why do you need to talk to Robin? You're a big boy. How old are you?
I said the exact same thing to Howard that I said to you.
How old are you?
I said he tried to talk to you.
She did.
And
I said he shouldn't go to you. Go to me.
And then it went nowhere.
Because he's not supposed to call Laura.
No, I called you too.
I don't care. Walk up to me and say, I got a job offer.
After you beat me up for 2 days on the air and everyone's saying, don't bother you.
Don't bother me.
Approach you after that?
Approach Gary. That's the way you do it. And I hear what it's about, and then I'll decide whether I want to talk to you.
That I tell him a little screwed up.
Gary's a moron.
I'm not saying he's a moron.
That's what you're saying. You're saying he couldn't interpret to me that John got a job offer.
I can bring in 3 people here that can say the exact same thing that I'm saying about Gary.
Gary couldn't tell me you got a job offer.
All you have to say is, Gary.
But you go to Robin and ask him to do your big boy.
With Gary's slant. I want it with my slant. I want a heart-to-heart with you.
Say, I want a heart-to-heart with Howard about a job offer I got.
No, it wasn't only about that job offer. It was about a few things.
No, you say I have a job offer, and then you can bring up whatever you want in the meeting. Don't tell me you couldn't get to me. I don't buy it.
And you beat me up so bad. I was miserable about it, hurt.
I'm so sorry. You're miserable and hurt. I'm so sorry. I've been so bad for you.
No, but pull the tape.
You got a house on Long Island, a house in the city. I'm so bad to you.
Pull
pull
I
the
don't
tape.
care.
I tried to
Dude,
talk.
you didn't try to talk. If you
I
needed to
did
talk
try
to me,
talk
you
to you.
would have. I know John.
No,
One thing about
after
John.
that, I was scared
You
to
could
talk to you.
always talk to me.
After that, I was afraid to talk
I had
to
a
you
private
about it.
conversation about when you lost your radio shift and Tom wanted to give you some payback money and things. You couldn't have brought it up then. It was impossible. I've been over your house 25 times.
Yeah,
Couldn't have
and
brought
I
it
did
up
not
then.
want to bring up business with you on a
Here's what I
personal
suggest.
occasion.
You didn't want to bring it up because you wanted the other job and you were afraid that we'd ruin it for you. And the fact of the matter is that's okay. I'm happy for you. There's no arguing here. I'm glad you're on your way to bigger and better things. Jay Leno is a douche.
By the way, can I just say one thing about that?
Yeah.
A year ago, when they offered me the correspondent, he did want to call you, and I said, no, I should be the one to talk.
But I told you he
I
should
did.
never have talked to you first. He should have talked to Howard.
he's like,
Jay has a relationship with me. Jay will never call anyone.
No, he should never been on the phone with you saying that. He
Jay's
should
a
have said,
pussy.
I'm going to talk to your guy.
And I said to Jay, I go, Jay, so you pick up the phone and you go, hey, Howard, there's a guy I gotta have in the whole universe. The guy I gotta have is Stuttering John Melendez. Okay, Jay, why? Well, because he's the greatest announcer I've ever heard. And I'll go, okay. So, and he could have said to me, and I can make a difference in this guy's life. I can pay him a lot of money. So I would say, okay, let me talk to my guy. And I'd come to you and say, hey, Jay called me. Is this true? Is this what you want to do? And you'd say, hey, it's a good offer. I gotta go take it. I'd say, okay, let me go see if maybe Tom can step up to the plate. Would Tom have stepped up to the plate to $500,000? No, I don't think so. But
never.
But I would have tried. I would have gone in there and, hit him up for something. Because you're important to me, and I do love you. But the fact of the matter, I'm going to be sad to see you go.
I love you too.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is that, on a very personal level, Jay could have picked up the phone and called me and said, look, I'm about to lift a major portion of your show. John's been with us 15-something years.
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years.
Well, that's one of the other things I heard from my mole is that if John, if the numbers don't go up, that Jay turns his back on people. I don't know this because I never worked for him. But
I know Jay very well, and Jay's loyal to one person, Jay. But I think it'll be okay.
He's loyal to everybody there, actually.
Yeah.
So how many years?
Been there for years.
How many years?
Except for Ed Hall.
How many years?
Ed Hall was there for 13 years.
Was Ed fired?
And they fired him.
Was Ed fired?
Yeah, Ed was
That's
fired.
what I heard was Ed
I know
left.
Ed did not leave. Ed was fired.
It said in the paper.
Ask Helen Kushnick about how loyal Jay is.
Well, come on, Howard.
No,
she
got him the
wacky.
job.
Come on.
All right, just see.
How many years is the deal?
Ask Dave. Ask Dave Letterman how loyal Jay is.
I mean, you signed a deal. You can't say it's for 2 years,
I'm
for
not
5
saying
years.
anything about it.
You're not allowed to say that you signed a
It says it. I don't know. That's what it says in the contract. You cannot talk about
All right, if you go,
and I just don't want to screw it up, Gary. That's all.
Okay, are you still going to do comedy?
Of course.
Okay, do you get to promote that on the show?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Of course, that's a shocker.
I think you're not allowed to do any X-rated material or R-rated.
Yeah, I can't do anything crazy.
All right.
I can't do anything, and I'm not going to be stuttering.
I think you should be stuttering.
How can you make yourself not stutter?
No. In other words, it's going to be John Melendez.
Oh, well, that's different then. They're hiring John Melendez.
Is it true that you're getting a speech coach? That's what it said in one of the
I have a vocal coach for the announcing aspect, but not for the stuttering.
Okay, when you go to do remote, say they send you to the Olympics, fly first class, get an extra
Of course.
extra ticket?
They fly me first class every single time I've been out there.
Okay, do they pay you extra if you go to do stuff like, say, you have to come into New York to do the upfront? Do you get paid extra for that?
No, it would be part of everything,
I got all these money questions.
I just can't wait till they have John asking all the goofy questions.
No. I'm not asking
doing
any
that.
ambush celebrity interviews. That's your thing. And by the way,
oh, that's my thing. I can still have the gay guy do
That's
that.
what the twist is. That's Jay's thing.
Oh, that's the twist. And I'm going to call him John Melendez. It's not the same thing.
No. In fact, Howard, this was really a part of the job. I just want you to know something.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to stutter when I announce the
Well, how are they going to control that?
Yeah, because when you do a character like, hey, you're not going to stutter anyway, but I have to prove it to them. I have to record like 20 announcements.
Why wouldn't they want you to stutter?
Because I don't want to make fun.
Let me listen to your
That's
audition.
who you are. You're Stuttering John. That's
Let me
why they
listen
like
to
you.
your audition.
What audition?
The tape you sent Jay to get the job.
Who this?
Peace and love. Peace and love.
This is you in the recording studio here doing your announcing.
Oh, the one that Scott promised me he'd erase?
Yeah. We don't erase anything.
Well, it'll sound right? Right?
Here's the audition.
From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and The Tonight Show Band. I do a lot better And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford.
Pamela.
Dude, I'm so much better now than that. The music
You wanna
of
do it now?
Simon...
Do it now. Let me hear.
I mean, that's like Scott pulling the worst clip he can to freaking make it funny.
No, this is the whole 3.5 minutes I got. We didn't pull any bad clips.
And Garfunkel,
I'm
and
a lot
comedian
better.
Jeffrey Ross.
I'm unbelievable.
And now, Jay Leno.
There you go.
This one I'll be even more over it. You know, I'm so pissed at this guy. You know, I don't even want him to play us. He promised. I said I
Doesn't matter.
You know,
you're on the Howard Stern show, on the Jay Leno show.
No, he wasn't
that.
supposed to. I told him to erase.
But if the tables were turned, you'd be saving this tape.
Of course I would.
Of course. So just take your lumps.
Sit here and
It's
take
the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Yeah, you got
Why are you going to put on a voice though?
Because you got it. What,
Why don't you just do your regular voice?
It's the Tonight Show, man. What's up?
Not like that. Just you can be excited. Just go. It's the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
It's the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Yeah. Why are you like and the Tonight Show?
He's an announcer.
I love the thing.
Let me hear
It's
the
the
other
Tonight
voice.
Show with Jay Leno.
I like that better.
I like the thing.
Are you going to be on camera when you do it?
I don't know.
Well, you signed a job. I figure you know what you're getting into.
I think he's on it.
Artie, don't you think this is the most bizarre thing ever?
I got to say, I must confess that I've known about this for a while.
Right, no, you didn't.
John wanted somebody to talk to about. Right. And I'm very happy for John. John's my friend. I hope he always will be. I had the same reaction at first that I thought John should have told you, and I said that to him. And I also think it's really a weird move by Leno. It is. He has a working relationship with you. John is synonymous with you. You're stuttering.
Yeah, well,
John.
guess what, Artie? John
Well, let him talk. John, we know that. We know that. We don't understand.
Everyone thinks you should have taken a job.
Yeah, we're not.
Nobody
You're
can
looking
fault
to
you
pick
for
a
that.
fight because I think you need to do that, so it'll be easier for you to leave emotionally. But
No, I just want people
nobody
to know
cares.
that there was no money.
We're not criticizing. We're talking about Jay.
John, yeah,
we're not talking about you.
I also said, you remember, John, as a comedian, if any one of my buddies told me they got a gig like this, I got to be happy for you, and I was happy.
But anyway,
but you know, I said
You told me it was a no-brainer, actually.
Yeah,
John, we all agree. Relax. Nobody's beating you up. We're talking about Jay being a douchebag.
I'm not going to deny that. I did say that, but someone had to tell Howard to leave Howard in the dark. It's two sort of major show business forces that have a relationship, and to do one.
Well, it was done in the middle. Listen, John didn't tell me about it, despite the whole cock and bull story.
But I think Jay
he didn't tell me about
put
it.
pressure on John not to tell you. I think that's wrong.
I think
Jay
it was
wanted
smart.
to call Howard himself, Artie.
So why didn't he? He's a big boy.
I told him I wanted to talk to him.
Well, when did you talk to him?
After it was done.
No, I tried talking to him that time, Rob.
Yeah, but since that didn't happen, why did you say, well, Jay, I can't get to him, you're going to have to call him? Why didn't you turn it around then?
Because he didn't want to. And it's okay. I'm not mad at you for it. It's just John didn't want anything to go wrong.
Well,
Jay should have picked up the phone and called
Of
me.
course you're flattered, though, when somebody from the Tonight Show calls,
Of course.
aren't you?
It's a hard position for John to be in because he's dealing with two, major guys. One he's working with.
But I'm not mad at John. John thinks I'm mad at him. I'm not.
Howard even said to me, we spoke during the week, and he said, listen, I've had job offers where I didn't want my boss to know about it. I get that, but
be honest about it. Don't be a douche and say I wasn't available to you. That's just ridiculous.
No,
There's ways
Howard,
to get to me.
I turned down that correspondent thing because you wouldn't talk to me. I swear to God, that's
Good.
exactly what happened.
You should, because it's the lamest ripoff I ever heard. So instead of the correspondent, they call you the announcer. Please, John, just stop. And we know what this is. And I know what Jay is, and I know what Jay's all about.
in the long run, Howard made you more money because I guarantee
Absolutely.
you, this pays way more than the correspondent job.
You're damn right.
Of course it
And the
does.
correspondent job wasn't full-time and you weren't moving to California.
This is
the
called
whole
a car.
thing.
This is, hey, I want a piece of Howard. I have a beef with Jay, not you. I don't blame you.
It's amazing. You said no to something, and they came back with a better offer, which
And you
is
don't,
flattering.
and
as
you
hell.
don't have to say you couldn't get to me. That sounds lame to me. I'm just telling you, it sounds lame. There's ways to get to me through Gary. It's
And I
okay. You didn't want to
noticed
tell me.
You stopped talking to me about it once this great offer came along.
What Robin said to me after I tried talking to you, she said,
Forget Robin, you're a
she
big
said,
boy.
John, you've done all you can do.
Right.
Well, at that point, but you didn't have a job offer
It
that
was a
you were
job
really
offer.
considering. You had turned that down.
I
at
told
that
you,
point.
anytime you want to
No,
talk to me, you
after
go
you
to Gary.
talked to
You go to Gary and you say, Gary, I need to talk to Howard about a job
I don't
offer I
like
got. I
going to
might be
Gary,
leaving the
because a lot
show.
of times he has his
that's-
own
you know what?
agenda.
Hold on.
Well, then, you know what? When you
that's
go to
wrong.
the Tonight Show, you better learn how to work within the system because people have systems set up.
Yeah, and that's wrong.
No offense, it's not all set up for you.
This is different than I want to go out and do a comedy show. This is a major thing, and I'm sort of offended that you think that I would put my own slant on it. All you got to do is say, you didn't even tell me what it was. You have to say, listen, I got an amazing offer. I got to talk to Howard, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, how many times has things got screwed up between the communication between me
Would you
and
have
Howard?
stayed if Tom offered you more money?
Well, it depends what kind of money.
Right, that's right. So you didn't give anybody an opportunity. I think you were ready to go because, listen.
And don't blame
as
this
much
on
as you
me.
say you love me, you got to have some resentment. You've been here 15 years. You're not making big money. You're the guy who answers the phones.
Well, that's the thing that bothers me.
Right.
That's all you say is that I answer the phones.
And you
I
have,
don't write jokes. I'm not on the air. I don't do bits that you like.
Right. And you have a resentment toward me and also a love for me. I've given you a tremendous break, but also I've not treated you perhaps the way you feel you should be treated. So I think that, in all honesty, you needed to go to take a new job and be, an important guy on a new show. It's important for you to do that. You need an opportunity to do that, and I welcome that for you.
Well, the question I have is now, I didn't know that he had sat down with you at some point about, what did you just say? He sat down with you when Tom took the other money away?
No,
or
I didn't sit down with anybody.
I said to him, Tom is working on something. Don't panic.
You had a private conversation
Yes,
with him.
I had
and he
it.
didn't bring anything of that.
Nothing.
No, hold on.
I said to you that
that's
Tom
untrue.
is working on something. I said, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but he came to me and said he's working on something.
When?
After it all went down and you were sitting there all depressed. Remember when what's his name, the program director said to you.
That was the
and I
silver
said
lining,
to you,
and that's Tom paid me till December.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said...
You were with him alone at
He's
that
been alone
time?
with me a million times.
No, I've never been alone with Howard. When would I be alone?
I get together with you and your wife all the time.
My wife, you and Beth, and I'm going to bring up business with you? Come on.
You couldn't say, I got a job offer from Jay Leno. You don't think that's major news? You couldn't say it. There's no opportunity to say that to me. Come on, John, stop it.
No,
I think he wanted to leave.
I asked my wife about it. It wasn't right to talk business over.
All right. Well, your wife. So you ask your wife, you ask Rami, you ask Gary, but you don't ask yourself.
I did ask
Everybody's in charge of you,
You
except
said you don't want anything to do with me about business.
Oh, I don't want anything to
That's
do
what
with
you said
it.
on the air, and it was
And what's
brutal.
the difference between am I the same guy on the air and off the air?
No, you're the real guy on the air.
Okay, so am I the real guy so when I hang out with you, I'm not a real guy with you? I'm not friends with you and your wife.
But you don't want me to bring up business.
John, was I talking about the John, the cockamamie John, or am I talking about John getting a legitimate job off?
Well, anything is cockamamie from me.
You know what? You'll argue every point to the death. Good luck, Jay.
Well, you know what's amazing now? John's denied it for years. I never known the truth, but now I know. I'm sitting next to a millionaire.
There you go.
I am sitting next to a millionaire. That you can't deny.
And by the way, he was a millionaire from this show.
I think he might have been, but now I know he's a millionaire.
I got to work every weekend to make money.
I understand that, but are you a millionaire?
And believe me,
are you a millionaire? Because when Jay calls me up and goes, "Hey, yeah, I understand you're not paying John all that." Well, I go, well, gee, Jay, when did you become I guess you can go through all the payroll here and decide who isn't making enough money.
Well, and the other thing, I mean, you know how hard it is to get money out of Tom, Howard. I mean,
I know that, but I think that with you leaving, you should have given us an opportunity. But you know what? No way I'm paying you $500,000.
You know what Tom said to me?
I think Jay has a real hard-on for this show and really wants something from this show.
I'm not saying I'm making $500,000 either. I don't know.
You're not arguing as hard as you would.
I don't know where you come up with that figure.
But you're not arguing as hard as you would if you really weren't making it.
I know you're making over $250, and I know it's close to.
I don't know where you're hearing this.
Say it's $350. $353 is still $1 million. It's a lot of money.
That's right.
Well, I'm just happy.
I'm not that far off.
Can I have some money?
For what?
Just loan me. You're a millionaire.
I'm not a millionaire.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, Vinny.
Hey, John.
Look. Let me guess how this slant's going to go.
John, congratulations. Welcome to Late Night.
Oh, thanks, Vinny.
Howard, the thing I can't figure out about Jay is...
Let's see.
Well, let Vinny
He's
talk.
not talking about you. He's talking about Jay.
John, I'm not...
John, you can't be in here if you're going to keep interrupting everyone.
I'm sorry.
John, you'd be insane to turn this job down.
Right, all right, go ahead, Vinny.
Howard, here's what I can't figure out. So he wants John, but all the wonderful things that John can bring to a show, like your show, the stuttering, the IQ game, which I'm really curious about if you're going to do that, the man on the street, he's not going to be doing that for Jake. So what is he going to be doing to earn all that money? What's the value?
Well, John has stepped into a great job. I mean, it's not a job you got to do a lot. But the fact of the matter is, look, whatever you say about this show, we have what every late night guy wants. We have a edgy, hip show that attracts what advertisers want. But you can't have it both ways. You can't be milquetoast like Jay, lame like Jay, and then expect to have a really hip audience and have 18 to 25-year-old males who buy products and all that. You can't go both ways.
And that's what he's trying to do, by the way. You know someone in recent... Look, the numbers, the 18...
All he's doing is messing with my show, and I'll survive. I mean, as much as I love John on the show...
You'll survive if anybody left.
No, I don't know about that.
John, it sucks you leaving, man. You were a big character on that show. It's like Kramer leaving Seinfeld, you know? It was
Thank
part
you,
of the
man.
show.
Right, and it's weird, and it's so not organic to what Jay Leno does. The stuttering and goofing on. What made John great on our show?
And he can't.
It's our interaction with him. It's the way we interact with this guy. We goof on his stutter. We goof on him. We call him a retard. We call him a jerk.
And John enjoyed that, by the way.
Steve Allen did that too.
Yeah, but Steve Allen's going to do it. And what do you think? You think Jay knows John or knows what to do with him? I doubt it.
It's going to seem contrived.
It's going to seem bizarre. But Jay is a bizarre human being. And I use the word human being loosely. There isn't a time that I've done that show that this guy doesn't look right around me. He can't look at me. I had a 20-minute discussion with him. He didn't hear a goddamn word. All he said is, we're going to be friends, right? Like, what the F would I want to be friends with Jay Leno for?
He's a nice guy.
Maybe if I go, well, all right. If I want to go gay, maybe I'll hang out with Jay Leno and his gay comedian friends. As they sit around Jay's house sucking his...
I got another question. Will you be part of the...
Why do you wave?
Because will you be part of the Sunday night? Like everybody, all the writers and comedy guys get together at Jay's house the night before to write? Will you be part
I would
of that?
hope so, yeah.
Jay is a complete and utter sellout. The Jay Leno that was a man that developed comedy and comedy clubs no longer exists. He's a rip-off artist. He's lame. And he can't even face what he is now.
Howard, you know, he let his top guy go, Jimmy Brogan. A year ago, Jimmy Brogan was the guy who was with Jay from day one in the house working on the monologues. Jimmy looking for more money to NBC. They said no. Jay didn't back him up. He was gone.
Yeah, that's horrible. It just has Bob Morton.
What?
Yeah, okay.
What does that mean?
Well, didn't Dave let Bob Morton go?
What's the guy? We're not talking about Dave. We're talking about Jay.
We're talking about Jay.
Yeah, well,
You said Jay was loyal to everybody.
I'm just saying, you know,
Dave ain't loyal.
John,
Vinny's coming from
John, he studies those numbers every morning like the Torah. If this number goes down one bit when you start, it will be attributed to you. And what's going to happen is you're going to be neutered. You're not going to do all the things you think you're going to do. You're just going to be saying, here's Jay, which will be great.
But so what? What's wrong with that? He's getting tons of money.
He's got the
I'm
opportunity.
all for that.
He's got the opportunity to do more. If he does less, then what the hell?
What's the difference? Just to say, here's Jay.
I got to show up at 3 o'clock.
I know you can sleep late.
And I leave at 5.
Right, that was the thing. I woke up this morning going,
I'm
he's
jealous.
not going to have to do this anymore.
I'd like that job.
He doesn't have to work on weekends.
I'll do it.
If he wants to do his comedy gigs, his price has just gone up 4 times.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's good for you, and I'm happy for you, John.
But hopefully, I like to be there early. I like
We still put audio on some of your shows now that you're going to be a big star?
See, that's the other thing. I can't do any filter material.
His comedy price isn't going to go up.
Oh, sure it is.
No, it won't.
Why won't it?
No.
Dude, don't you realize what this show is to comedy?
60-year-old women.
If he's allowed to mention, if he's allowed to plug where he's going to be on the Tonight Show, his price is going to go up.
You know
What do you think, Jay's going to start giving him plugs?
Here's the thing you're missing, Howard.
John, will you get
John Melendez from
All right, here's the thing.
I don't have to do these things.
Right.
That's the difference.
could,
but I don't have to do
But he's got a
it.
lot of... Listen,
I don't have to
I'm
be away
being
from my
yelled at
family
because
every
it's
week.
45 minutes and I need to take a break.
Oh, yeah, we haven't broken much.
Here's what I want to say. John, congratulations on your job. We do all wish you well.
I love you, Howard. And
I know
listen,
you
I
do.
thank you for giving me an incredible opportunity, and I'll never
And
forget
I will
it.
miss you. You're a good guy, and I love John very much. He's a good man.
And
we
Robin,
wish you luck.
Yes.
I love the woman that was on the phone with me that was
I
crying.
was the
Not
same
the woman today.
woman here, and I
know
will
she was
miss
crying on the
you.
phone.
I
Well,
said
she's gonna
I
miss
will
you.
miss you.
Why do you gotta bring that up?
What does that mean? I
You're
said
stupid.
that, and I
You're
stand
still
by
stupid.
it.
I still maintain you're a moron.
I will miss you, you idiot.
You're an idiot, and you left this up. It's the only thing I can think. Here's John's audition tape.
Do you know how these sound on the TV? Yeah.
What?
But it'll sound all right? Right? From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and The Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford, the music of Simon and Garfunkel, and comedian Jeffrey Ross. And now, Jay Leno!
Well, now I know why Jay couldn't live without that. He had to have that. I get it now. I apologize.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
Though? Like Scott's saying about recording stuff, so why was he auditioning that girl in the studio the other day?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't worry about it. You're leaving. Don't even worry. This comes
And
out.
leave Scott
It's
alone.
over. You're on to a new show. You'll sit there and just debate with them.
Let me do another one, right?
Oh.
This one I'll be even more over the top.
Animated.
From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and the Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford, the music of Stained. And, I didn't want to do the same. Is that too over the top? Is that how it's...
Oh, yeah.
He's asking Scott, is
Yeah.
that too over the top?
Well, Scott's amazing on that.
First of all, I thought he wasn't stuttering, John. He's got to correct that.
Yeah.
Is that how they are?
Why is he stuttering?
All right.
And me, I'm from the Howard Stern Show. In an effort to make Jay look like something's happening.
And there'll be a conveyor belt going from the Howard Stern Show to the Night Show.
Yeah, what's like a candy factory.
Yeah, the Howard Stern Comedy Supermarket.
Up next, Beetlejuice and all the other stuff Jay likes.
And me, I'm here to get the young males to listen to the show.
Yeah,
Watch the show.
hopefully you'll think Howard's showing up.
And Gary the Retard with stupid human tricks.
Lamest asswipe on the planet, Jay Leno.
I love John, but a professional announcer saying Pamela.
I know.
I think that's the tape that got him the job.
Well, yeah.
No, it's because I'm a peacemaker.
Yeah, I like that in the paper.
Isn't that great?
I'm a peacemaker.
A peacemaker and a fan.
Well, this is Jay's deluded attempt to act like, no, I'm not hiring him because he's on your show. I saw him on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
He's a peacemaker.
He was a peacemaker on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Like, you remember?
And what does he need a peacemaker for on the Tonight Show?
Because there's so much battling going on.
Yeah, who's fighting there?
Yeah, he's a peacemaker. I was really impressed with him being a peacemaker. Because, you know how edgy our show is.
And a family man.
And besides, maybe people will think I'm Howard if I hire all his guys.
From the NBC studios. All right.
Stupid ass Jay. Jay should put on a dress after this one.
I just have to. Does John realize a microphone, you don't have to yell into it? It gets the
No, he's excited.
message across.
I'm doing it from
yelling.
New York so they can hear me in L.A.
Personally, I think Benji would have been a better announcer.
Yeah?
I'm surprised Jay didn't go after him. KC would be a good band leader. You have KC, then you have John. It'd be like a zoo. You could put together a complete... Let's see.
From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and the Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford, the music of Stained, and... Give me a band, Scott. Yeah, I already did Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel.
They're only going to be able to book people he can pronounce.
I already said Pamela Anderson. Pamela Sue Martin.
The funny thing about John is Fred doing. They have to hire Fred now, don't they?
Well, yeah, I
So he
guess.
can goof on him.
Lauren Hill.
No, we don't have to goof on John because you've done that already. So we're gonna figure everyone will remember that.
Lauren Hill. Bad Naked Ladies. No, they suck. I can't announce that.
That's somewhat tape. That's somewhat
Busta
dissident.
Rhymes.
I can see why you had to grab him.
And Pamela, let me do some different guests.
Some different guests, okay.
Yeah, it's important to show you a variety of words you can say.
You can read a lot of people's
I can think of a lot of celebrities.
Yes. I think Jay was impressed with the amount of names of celebrities he could say.
Siegfried Roy. No, sorry. Roy's in the hospital. Shirley MacLaine. No. I need somebody else. Dustin Hoffman.
Let's see.
Charlize Theron.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, he's thought of some new names. Right?
Nicolas Cage.
Samuel L.
What would be a good lineup?
He told Scott to erase this.
Who's the guy from Barnaby Jones? Chief Dan George. No.
Chief Dan George.
No.
From the San Diego Zoo. SpongeBob SquarePants. No, he's not real. It's an animated character.
Well, let's hear
Hello
this.
Kitty was the first one. All right, and now this one will be loud. But do you know which one the first one was? Okay. Am I going too fast, you think? From the NBC studio. From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and the Tonight Show Band.
I can't believe he sent this to him.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We got a lot of entries.
And me, I'm Stuttering John.
What?
I only sent one of them. These are like
all right.
I've tried all different voices.
Let us enjoy this. Stop interrupting.
No, but
leave us alone.
But let me
leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Then I went there and did a whole bunch for them in a real.
All right. Okay. We're just doing what we want to do. Jay can do what he wants.
Patrick Swayze! I'm gonna yell on names!
When I first heard the news, I thought it was being punked.
Really?
I said, you got to be kidding me. I go, this is the lamest thing I've ever heard.
The driver who was bringing me from the airport told me, and I said, obviously, his reading comprehension couldn't be that good.
I think it's his scary ability to think of celebrity names that attracted him.
Oh, my goodness.
What about, Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters.
Jack Nicholson!
No, he can't. He'd never get him.
He's not going to be on the show.
And tonight, Jay welcomes Nicolas Cage.
Nicholas
and Pamela.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage and Pamela Anderson, sponsored by Heineken.
Yeah, it's good. It's good what Howard's developed. I think I'll take it. I might as well take it. I took everything else. When we ask people these dumb questions and see if they can answer like easy questions.
And Lord of the Pushy Ring Tours.
Steve Allen thought of that, though. Howard can't accuse me of that. When I said to Jay on the phone, dude, you already take half my crap. You might as well just start taking my people. Get Gary the Retard and Beetlejuice. He goes, oh, come on. No. Steve Allen did that.
Steve Allen did everything.
Steve Allen did everything. According to Jay. Of course, Jay's never actually seen Steve Allen. He just knows Letterman says that. I even take Dave's defenses.
Right. I steal my defense.
I steal everything because I can't really develop anything on my own because I don't really actually have repartee with people because I'm not a human being. I don't actually don't give anyone a chance on the show. I'll let you do that and then I'll just lame them up. I'll just have them stand there and somehow people will think it's your show. Stupid ass. Such a goddamn stupid ass.
Yeah.
I go, Jay, at what point did your creativity turn off? Like, I know you were in the comedy circuit. You were able to write your own jokes, or did you steal those from other comedians? So at what point did you turn off and like at least try to thinly veil it? At least you got a gay guy to stand on the carpet and ask dumb questions instead of Stuttering John. I said, now you're just like taking the actual people. Like, couldn't you isn't there anyone that was sort of funny that you could have made the announcement? No. Don't worry, I can make anyone boring. It won't look anything like your show. I'm gonna turn it into the worst crap ever.
Nobody remembered Stuttering John was funny.
Yeah. Like if he hired a stuttering guy, it would seem like stealing.
Right.
He's hiring
the guy. Yeah, if he hired a stutterer, but Jay would never hire a stutterer because that would be unacceptable and not politically correct.
Right.
Because people would think he's making fun of stutterers. But no, Howard already did it, so it's okay.
You don't have to stutter here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's how
Yeah, he goes. Yeah, you shouldn't stutter because
they already know.
We don't want people to be making fun of stutterers.
Right.
That's why the whole situation is so crazy. Because if John ever screws up a word,
right.
and then Jay sort of goofs on him about it, it's just going to look like a shameless replica of the show.
I know.
There's no way to avoid that.
And what do you think he's going to do the first time he says Pamela Anderson?
Or Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Well, they're going to have to
Nicolas Cage.
Melissa Rivers.
We have Nicolas Cage here.
Musical guest, Nelly Potato. Nelly Furtado.
Potato. No, potato. What does it say on the sheet?
Potato. That's it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Jeez, I just threw up.
Oh.
Kate Hudson and comedian Greg Giraldo. And now, Jay Leno. That good? And I'll do a more low-key one. All right?
I'll sell.
Because that guy on that tape was... did you hear how he is? He's really, low-key.
Who's he talking about?
I guess he's talking about Ed Hall.
Yeah, he's real low-key.
I got my own style.
Sarah
Sarah Jessica Parker.
My own style.
Jessica Parker.
From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and the...
Jay Leno should come out in a dress.
Is this the low-key one?
This is the low-key. No, this is low-key. This is where Jay walks out in a dress and actually has a vagina. Because he doesn't have the balls to admit what he does.
Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Nicolas Cage, Pamela Anderson.
Cage.
Oh, no. Nicholas and Pamela.
I would have put Nicholas and Pamela together in the same sentence on my audition tape.
And comedian Greg Giraldo.
Why names that he has trouble saying for the audition? Nicholas Cage.
He's showing you he's willing to take a risk.
And Big Nose Brzezinski. Who the hell is that?
Nicholas Cage.
Nicholas.
Niglet.
If I say it's
Niglet Cage.
Sniglet. Rich Wall. Sniglet Cage. The whole studio audience is 70-year-olds from Nebraska, and they're like, did he just say Nicholas?
And now, Jay Leno. I don't have a David Letterman.
Jane Leno. Comes out in a dress.
Janet Leno.
Janet Leno.
Janet Reno. No. Jay Leno. Yeah, listen, can we retake the Nicolas Cage one?
If you heard Jay on the phone with me, you would have thought that, like, what's the big deal? No one's going to think, I'm trying to be like, yeah. You had to hear it. It was a completely foreign concept to him.
Stole the Tonight Show from Letterman.
I said, you know what? I said, I can't think of an analogy, Jay, because there's not a person on your show you've developed that I'd actually want to take.
How could he not think people are going to... Wait, what is he talking about?
But I was trying to say to him, I said, well, that'd be like if I hired, and then I realized he's absolutely
there
never...
wouldn't be anybody you'd hire.
He's never actually developed any talent on his show. No, I know, sure I have. Well, I can't think of one, but...
Yeah, but tuba player.
I didn't know Stuttering John worked on your show. I thought he was just like a guy who answers the phone.
Celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah, that's why I really got into him. He came on the show. He was great. I go, do you mean there's no other, you mean to tell me for the amount of money you pay someone, you couldn't have hired like a really great comedy mind that could have contributed to the show and stuff? Oh, no, we didn't want a comedian. I go,
well,
so what are you saying?
What did you want?
No, we wanted a guy who stuttered on your show. I mean, what's the explanation there? No, we didn't want a guy who stuttered. And then he says to me, he tried to blackmail me. He goes, I've been going around saying really nice things about you in the interview. You want me to keep doing that, don't you? I said, you know what, Jay?
What difference would that make to you?
I go, Jay, I tell you what. It would be hypocritical of you to go around saying bad things about me, considering how much crap you've swiped from me. I said, but you know what? Feel free. I would consider it a compliment if someone as gay as you
had the nerve
to badmouth me. I would think that would be really great, because I would have a field day with you. So then he goes, well, I've been saying really nice things about you in the press. Now, how do you want to handle this if, I go, how do I want to handle it? Seems like you've handled it already. What do you mean, how do I want it? When do you consider what I want to do? How do you want to handle it? Now he's calling me to see how I want to handle things.
Right.
Such an ass. I mean, an ass.
It really isn't John's fault, because
I'm happy for John.
I mean, in John's position, what was he supposed to do?
If I was John, I'd do it.
But by Leno not calling you, it puts John in a weird way of like, well, what do I do? Is Leno going to get mad if I tell him?
No.
And I mean, you found out a day before the New York Post found out.
I know. No one gave me any heads up.
How are you going to comment on it? I love that he goes, yeah, how do you want to handle it?
How do you want to handle it? Then I go, I said, I'm not handling anything. It's your gig, dude.
A little late for that.
I said, just let me know if there's any other guys I can turn you on to.
You handle it the way you handle it at this point.
Jay the douche. Yeah.
So it only took 3 hours and 45 minutes for John to get affected. He's out there yelling at Scott, still about giving the tape. And at one point he yelled at Scott, he goes, I have more money in my bank account now than you'll have in your whole life.
Oh, I told you he's acting weird about his new job. He was so rude.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
That's crazy. What's that got to do with anything?
He's all taken with himself out there.
And one written down. I don't know how they do that. Ready? From the NBC studios in Burbank, it's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and the Tonight Show Band.
What?
I never said that.
Did you say that?
Anything about,
are you bad-mouthing John?
Wow. I don't know where Gary got that information.
Did he say that to you?
I was walking down the hall because he's just so mad at me.
So what if he's mad at you?
I said I'll make Scott's life miserable for the next 4 days. That's all I said.
Go out and have a good time in L.A. with Jay Leno and enjoy your life. I mean, that's what I said to you. I'm happy for you, but now all you're concerned about is how mad you are at me, and you're the one that throws everybody. You're the one that throws everybody under the bus, and you can't take it when somebody does it to you. Go to L.A. and have a good time. All right, get the hell out of here now. All right, why do you leave today?
Hey. I didn't know that Vertical Blue was from the Howard Stern show, Scott.
Who said that?
It is in the paper.
Wait a minute. Who taped Scott's telephone?
Hold on, Robin. Let me explain something.
Who put a monkey on a string and ripped it up?
Robin, can I explain something?
Yeah. Was trying to pick it up. None of this ever showed up on the air. This was for your own personal amusement. Scott finally got you.
Howard, do you and I ever have things that we say off the air that we don't want on the air?
No.
Yes, we do. And there are a lot of things that me and Artie have that we won't say on the air.
Oh, come on. Let me move on. Let me move on. I don't care about this.
Yeah, I do, because Scott, I said to him, Scott, this is personal, and I want you to erase it as soon as we
Can I tell you something? This is your new boss.
And he gave me my word.
Happen to like.
So that's why
Can I say something to you? I happen to like this new guy, Scott the engineer. The way you better see it. Maybe I needed Scott the engineer.
Let me hear you announce. And now, from Hollywood, it's Jay Leno.
There you go.
I mean, come on. I don't stutter.
Do you have Scott the engineer's number? He's good. He's good. I like it.
Tonight, Pamela Anderson, Nicolas Cage, and me, I'm Stuttering John.
You know what, Scott? I'm glad I finally made you funny.
You know what? I realized Scott's the voice I like on the tape.
Yeah.
It wasn't John all along. It's Scott the engineer. I got to get him.
Let me just say, since my vocal coach, I've gotten a lot better.
All right. We'll have a chance to hear that.
March 29th.
All right. All right, you two take it out in the hall.
If anybody says Vertical Blue from the Stern Show, I tell them they're not from
the Howard Stern.
Go work on this.
I'm sorry. I tell people they're not from the Stern Show.
All right. All right. Come on. We're enjoying John's tape.
Yes. Who gave you that, John?
To the announcer styling.
There you go again.
This is live from Burton Bank.
I got 4 more days. It's going to be beautiful.
He's going to make my life hell for the next 4 days.
I'm already planning.
Do that.
What are you going to do, John?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm not going to tell anybody yet. But I promise it'll be good for the show.
All right, John's going to come out with a bang.
There we go. It's going to be great. There's only one person I'm focusing on, Scott, and it's you.
Yeah, thanks.
Just realize,
after 18 years, I'm the only one that works here.
Scott, just realize that if he's spending all of this time and attention on you,
Scott, how much you make a year? $60,000.
You really got him.
I got him.
60 grand a year. How much he complained about
15 years. Look at him.
60 grand a year. Scott makes 60,000.
He's out of his mind.
60,000.
That's what I make. I'm in a union. That's what I make. Okay. I can't do anything about it.
Oh, 60,000 is a lot of money, but you complain about it all the time, and you keep saying how Tom's a prick to me.
Yeah. Well.
It's not arguing.
Hey, let's just talk about everything, Scott.
Why would I argue about that? I get half of what I should be getting. Everybody knows that, and I've said that many times.
What if Jay Leno takes you away?
I'll be gone.
Nobody would begrudge you.
I'm going to apply to Letterman and Kimmel now and see what I can come up with. If you got something, I mean, God, how hard can it be? I mean, all you got to do is work for the Stern Show. Anybody will hire you. I mean, you know.
They didn't want you, Scott. Apparently, they didn't want a bald, fat, bloated engineer.
I didn't apply yet. I might as well. I didn't even think of trying.
They just asked.
I think it, so I'm going to try now. Obviously, it's easy. You don't have to have any talent, do you?
Well, didn't you listen to his audition tape?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't think it was serious. I was like,
that tape bowled us over.
This is a joke.
I had to go there and record a bunch.
I thought it was a joke.
And this was
absolutely.
We took one from
you
this
recorded
show
it.
that
John, I tell you what, I've never heard better announcing.
It's a Tonight Show.
John, can I just say something to your birthday? Remember your image. Now please don't argue with people and don't play.
Yeah, you should be writing Scott a letter right now. You said some.
I should write him an apology letter.
Things.
Jay sits at home and writes apology letters.
So Artie, what's the over/under? A year on how much they'll put up with his crap? Or what?
All right, get out of here, both of you.
What will happen first? I get fired or Scott dies of cancer? I'll go with the dying of cancer.
Well, I stopped smoking, so.
Yeah. Well, Howard, I'm going to start dang on cigarettes in front of Scott.
Do it.
I'm going to start blowing
I'm in front of it all day. Don't worry about it.
John, this is Jay. No cancer jokes, and please do not make fun of people with cancer.
It's not the stern show. It's different. It's different, you know.
John, actually,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a joke, but I bet that's serious, man. They're gonna like you making cancer jokes.
Where is he gonna make a joke?
He's gonna make a cancer
He's
joke.
gonna be standing there.
No, I'm saying.
Hey, John, how you doing? Hey, Jay.
I'm saying even now. Even here.
You're gonna throw the band guys under the bus too? Hey, Jay, you know the trombone player.
Now I have to write to every person with cancer. I gotta write to every person with cancer now. You're killing me.
I'm not making fun of cancer.
No. You said cancer. You said cancer, and that can't be.
Someone out there with cancer.
Howard, cancer's a horrible illness.
That's what we like.
Get cancer.
Now I want you to write on a chalkboard 100 times.
But I still hope Scott dies of cancer.
All right, thank you, Scott. Thank you, John. All right.
And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford, Kate Hudson, and comedian Greg Giraldo. And now, Jay Leno.
and coming up tomorrow night, the reunion of Nirvana. The surviving members.
Who this? Cash.App, $milkcratemarauder.
I'm real, okay?
Venmo, @milkcratemarauder.
Please, somebody in America, give me a chance, please.
This is Morgan Freeman. You front on the Milk Crate Marauder, you can suck my dick.
We're all superstars.
You stupid bastard.